to this week's edition of the Volunteer Corner. We're just going to have a conversation. And again, my name is Jane Roy. I'm one of the co-executive directors of London Food Bank. I partner with Glenn Pearson, who oftentimes does these, and I hesitate to call them interviews, but conversations. I have with us a wonderful, amazing volunteer, Chris Nelson. Amazing. And so what I find what's great about these interviews is we get to meet volunteers who are doing different positions and doing different responsibilities. So we'll talk a little bit about that with Chris. But before we do, Chris Nelson.
Yes.
When did you first come to the food bank? And how long have you been here?
7 years come this November. It'll be 7 years since I've been here.
Seriously?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And what brought you?
Well, my oldest daughter graduated grade 8, and I was doing a lot of volunteering in her public school.
Yeah.
And so I still wanted to look to volunteer once she'd gone into high school, so I started coming here.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you started coming here, working out at the back?
Yes, just signing up by the computer and coming in and doing whatever shifts I could get.
Yeah.
And then I happened to mention once that, I wish I could get a regular shift. And then somebody overheard that, and they came back and they said, do you mind talking to schools and children? And I'm like, no, because that's what I just left at the public school.
Yeah.
And they said, okay, great. Do you want to come in and do the kids? And I said, great, yeah.
Yeah. So one of the great things about the food bank is the number of volunteers we have. Mm-hmm. One of the difficult things, of course, is keeping everybody busy or signed up or working it out. So I know it sometimes gets to be a bit of a process, but so what Chris agreed to do is when groups come in, she is responsible for them, which is just amazing. So you've been doing that right almost from the very beginning then?
Probably about, 6 months in.
Yeah.
I started,
Yeah, and so how often do you come take care of a group?
Right now, I'm 3 days a week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Isn't that amazing? 3 days a week. I know. And during the pandemic, it was pretty much.
That's when it started, the 3 days a week, because we were Team Chaos, and it was Wednesday afternoons, Thursday, Fridays.
Team Chaos, yes. Way to go. Yeah, we talk a lot about that because we split the teams. Mm-hmm. We split into 2 different groups so that we could actually keep the food bank operating through the whole pandemic. So Team Chaos, now you're 3 days a week.
Yep.
And so what's kind of your favorite thing about the groups? What is it you enjoy about them?
Meeting them, just finding out people's stories. And I hate when you go to the back and nobody's talking, so then I just start up a conversation. So what do you do? Why are you here? Do you have kids? Do you work? And then it's just getting to know people.
Do you have kids? What do you do? Do you work?
Yes.
It's a great conversation.
Yes.
Maybe you should be doing this on our side. So,
I guess I'm nosy.
Yeah,
I just like to know people's stories.
For us, one of the things that's really great in having you do that, it's another volunteer, and you're actually engaged with the volunteers. Mm-hmm. So people come, groups come, and they basically come maybe once or twice a year, or they come very ad hocly. That sounds like a name. They come on an ad hoc basis when they can ever come. So some of the folks you've gotten to know, but some of the folks are only meeting the first time.
Yep.
Yeah. So do you find it different than how you deal with people differently, or?
Oh yeah, depending on the age, and especially you speak differently to a school age child to an adult that comes in. But so far everybody's been receptive and it's all good. Yeah.
But some of the jobs, you then are also responsible to monitor them.
Yes.
But to keep them busy. So what is it you basically do?
So usually Brian or Marianne will tell me what needs to be done in the back. And then I try and divvy it up with every volunteer that comes in. What have you done? What have you not done? And then I try to disperse them amongst the warehouse.
Okay.
And
and so jobs like
sorting,
food.
making hampers,
You're making hampers,
splitting rice or tea or coffee.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll pull them to do produce. Anything that needs to be done in the back.
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes it means unloading. Sometimes
sorting snacks, unloading stuff, unloading produce.
Yeah. Not compost, but just making sure, breaking up boxes, making boxes. Like there's all sorts of things that it's kind of food in and then food out. Yeah. Do you have a favorite job you like to do?
Yes.
What is your favorite job?
Sorting.
Oh, really? Why?
That's where I was first trained. That's where I started, and that's kind of like my comfort zone. Like I gravitate back to sorting all the time.
So sorting is when people donate food, and we have to take all of that food, and then we have to sort it into categories. But we're also looking at what else.
So we have to look at whether or not we can actually use it, or whether we consider it questionable.
Yeah.
Using it means like whether it's within dates, whether it's got enough, does not have any dents, whether it's got any rust or labeling.
Yep.
And if it has all those things, like it has like dents and stuff, we put it in questionable, and then somebody else goes through the questionable and makes sure that it is not usable.
Yeah, so somebody else then who's got more training, which isn't me, but who knows those kind of things. And then we basically, if it's not usable, we send it
to a pig farmer. Yeah, so none of our food gets thrown out, which I found wonderful.
Yeah, kind of amazing. And the produce has that sort of same cycle, but the stuff that gets thrown out gets not thrown out, it gets sent to
their compost here,
compost.
doesn't it?
Yeah, so compost gets turned into dirt here, which is great. So what, I mean, you've gone to the food bank. If I were to ask you, what do you love about it being here?
The people. It's easy. Just because I've been coming so long, and especially during COVID and the pandemic, you got to know them. You got to know people's histories and their backstories, and you were there for weddings and divorces and babies and marriages, and it was great. It was just
in terms of the other volunteers in particular.
Yeah. Especially the regulars that come in, you really get to know them. You kind of like establish a working family. Yeah,
and some of them have gone through some real tragedy.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been really tough over the past little while, in terms of loss that they've gone through or difficult health diagnosis they've gone through. It's been kind of tough seeing. So in that sense, the working family is amazing.
Oh yeah. But on the other hand, I had a couple of volunteers had grandchildren born while we're working, and it's just as happy because
that's true.
You get to see the babies and you get to hear their stories.
You get to hear the 25th or going. Some of our folks are getting married.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's true. It's that whole cycle of. Cycle. So one of the things Chris did was actually had a really great friend that you brought along.
Kirsten?
Kirsten. Because one of the, obviously there's a lot of different groups that ask to come down. We can only manage so many of them, but in terms of the groups, Chris is only here 3 days a week. We've got a limited staff, as far as there's always things going on. So having volunteers is great. So Kirsten.
Yeah, I brought Kirsten on board.
Yeah.
So her and I tackle, when the schools start back up, the two of us tackle the schools because there is quite a few, usually upwards of 30 kids sometimes.
Yeah.
So I will take usually the group to the sorting, she'll take the group to the hamper making or whatever other duties, and we just split it that way.
Yeah.
Because that'd be way too much for one person to try to take on.
Yeah, for sure. So Kirsten comes, and you sometimes come together, but you sometimes comes apart. She might take the morning, you might take the afternoon.
Well, today I thought she was going to be here, but she left. I guess they were finished at 11, so I didn't get to see her today. So
yeah. But so not only are you managing volunteers, you are an amazing recruiter. Actually, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, because you also you will highlight certain people that for us that you think would be a great part of the team in terms of talk to the staff.
And if they say the same thing I said, I wish I could get a regular routine or a regular shift, I'm like, well, maybe.
And
I'll come to the front and I'll ask somebody at the front if they need help.
Yeah. So is there, you're involved, so you're involved in the school. Are you involved doing other things as well? Because you are an ultimate community person. I mean, here it's 3 days a week, but I'm pretty sure this isn't the only thing you do.
No, I did quite a bit before my oldest is now 24, but I did Original Kids, so I did the volunteering back there, doing the props and the makeup and the hair.
Yeah.
I did that for about 13 years.
Wow.
From the
Can you do my makeup and hair and props?
No, absolutely not. No, I used to gel the boys' hairs back.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's all I did. So I did that. She was started when she was 5, and she's now 24.
Wow.
So I did it from 5 till she was 18.
Yeah.
And then I was doing that and this at the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's it. And the schools. I've been in the schools quite a bit.
Yeah. So that's huge though, because I mean, not only are you supporting your daughter, but you're supporting a community group that's doing a lot of great work, like here. So 7 years. You're going to stay for the next 70, right?
Possibly, yes. I have no plans to leave. I love it here.
Yeah, which is amazing, awesome. We love actually having Chris here as well. And it just is a separate question. Is there any question I'm not asking you? Anything you'd like to kind of say? No?
No, you're pretty good.
No, I don't ever.
You're a good director.
So it's what we love about this. What we love about Chris is precisely that. She's part of the team that's serving. No, you're not necessarily serving the direct clients, but you're serving the people. You're serving the volunteers, and you're serving the people that are coming in to help and to make sure the operation and things work. And in many ways, volunteers are as important as the people that are coming to us for help. And the fact that we have so many of them, and you are such a great
Yeah.
service to them, is amazing. So
I had one volunteer. He asked me if he could use me as a reference.
Oh, wow,
And I
okay.
said absolutely.
yeah.
Didn't hear anything more about it. And then I did get a call from the police because he was trying to become a police officer.
Ah,
That's why
okay.
the police called me. And I gave her the reference, and same thing, didn't hear anything until about 2 weeks ago. Kevin showed up at the back door in his OPP officer uniform just to show me that he made it.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah,
that is,
so
that's
was,
wonderful. Yeah.
That really felt good that
Yeah.
they came back to show me that, yes,
Yeah.
they did it. So.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for all of your help and
You're
all of your amazing. So thanks.
Thank you.
Till next week.